to help mitigate the risk from drones, both for those in the air and on the ground. These technologies are designed to help recognize and address potential problems while in flight and without human intervention. One of these technologies allows a drone equipped with special sensors and software to autonomously sense and avoid other aircraft.
This capability level also tested vehicle-to-vehicle communications in areas with moderate UAS traffic density. Testing also included UAS ground control interfacing to locally manage operations, communication, navigation, surveillance, human factors, data exchange, and network solutions. Drones were also flown beyond visual line of sight and in close proximity in altitude and distance. The focused technology flight tests were conducted at Langley and Ames research centers and complemented the flight testing conducted at the designated FAA test sites. Both provided valuable information of the flight performance of the drones necessary to work within the UTM system. Since UTM is a new way to manage air traffic, human factor data collection in real-world conditions is critical to understanding the human-system interactions.
We're really breaking new ground on the way human operators interact with complex systems. And so being here helps us get data on exactly their experience with this system. So for example, we are kind of monitoring the communication patterns that they use. So UTM as a system is exchanging lots and lots of data, and that data can be presented to those operators in a variety of ways. And they also have other ways that are not UTM to communicate with each other. They can communicate with each other over their radios. They can communicate each other through like texting applications, right? So we're kind of measuring all of those communication patterns to see what things are they talking about through UTM means and what things are they talking about with outside of UTM means, to really give us a sense for how well UTM as the system is supporting operators in conducting their operations.
Finally, TCL4 demonstrated how the UTM system can integrate drones into urban areas. Corpus Christi, Texas and Reno, Nevada were chosen as the test sites, offering the right mix of challenges to prove that UTM could work anywhere. The cities have large populations, many obstacles to avoid, windy weather conditions, reduced lines of sight, and fewer safe landing locations. TCL4 addressed these challenges using UTM systems and technologies on board the drones and on the ground. These include incorporating more localized weather predictions into flight planning, using cell phone networks to enhance drone traffic communications, and relying on cameras, radar, and alternate ways of seeing during flight to ensure drones can maneuver around buildings and land safely, all while communicating with other drones and users of the UTM system.
Over the progression of this project, where we are now is the most complex piece of it, right? So now we are testing in urban environments, in higher density operations, looking at kind of contingency or off-nominal situations. So that list of three things, urban environments, higher densities, off-nominal situations, those are all extremely complicated things to tackle. And so for us to be here tackling those things is the only way we could learn some of the things that are associated with those things. That would be all very difficult to learn in a laboratory setting. There are so many things that are really an opportunity that come from the geographic locations in which we are testing that give us these types of this data, everything that we learn from being here.
Although all this research took place here in the U.S., this new structure will be the framework used around the world.
UTM idea, concept, architecture is out there, and it's been endorsed by ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization. And if you look in Europe and in Asia, countries that are starting up their version of UTM, they're starting with this architecture that NASA developed. And so it's really out there, and we're participating in international standards groups to really kind of consolidate what the concept is and harmonize internationally.
The influence of UTM on future projects, I think, was something we're pretty proud of, right? The concept and the way of managing the airspace is really new. And people are seeing application of that to, for example, UAM and air taxis, potentially for high-E operations over 60,000 feet, space traffic management. All of these things can leverage what we've learned in UTM because it's about providing services to classes of operations where services aren't provided now and probably won't be provided. Right, so finding a solution to that really has benefited future work as well at NASA.
It's clear to see that a tremendous amount of planning, research, flying, design, and hard work went into this project, and that the UTM framework is here to stay.
I think we're really getting into a whole new era of aviation, right? Where we got completely new operations that weren't there before. We are envisioning a few years from now, maybe 10 years from now, a world where we'll be traveling through cities in small electric aircraft, for example, and we'll have our some drones delivering medicine or delivering food or things like that. All this is really only going to be able if we set like a foundation where we can use our great new automation capabilities, networking capabilities, really making use of digital ways to coordinate all these different operations and all this air traffic in a way that just wasn't possible before. But the only way that we can actually do this is by shifting the paradigm entirely from this very